Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Jennifer Bourn, and today I want to talk to you about creating a successful lead inquiry form for WordPress projects. When I began using WordPress, one of the first things I added to my website for my design company was a simple contact form. It only had 3 fields: name, email, and message. At the time, it was pretty amazing to be able to give others a way to contact me without my email address or my phone number, and the form worked like a charm. Most freelancers struggle to find new clients, yet almost immediately I began receiving inquiries from new prospects through my website form, and soon I was literally drowning in new leads. This was incredible until it wasn't. While an influx of all those amazing leads sounds awesome, privately, it was a complete and utter nightmare. Managing the leads was draining my energy. I was so overwhelmed responding to inquiries that I struggled to actually get my paying clients' work done. And even worse, many of those leads that were taking up all of my time never converted into paying clients because they were either price shopping, they were tire kickers, or they weren't even the right fit. While my basic WordPress form allowed people to easily contact me, it did nothing to help segment and qualify the leads, and it gave me pretty much no useful information. I needed a better inquiry form for WordPress projects and a more robust form solution. Thankfully, there are a plethora of robust WordPress form plugins available today, like WP Forms, Ninja Forms, and Gravity Forms. They make it easy and fast to create website forms of all types, including contact forms, lead generation forms, opt-in forms, and project inquiry forms. Over the years, I've experimented with my website project inquiry form. First, I tried using a form with very few fields, letting the prospect choose what information to provide. And this resulted in wildly inconsistent submissions and a lot of email back and forth with me having to track down the information that I needed to figure out whether or not the project was even a good fit. Then I tried using a form with a whole lot of questions. It required the prospect to put in some serious work. This approach made the prospect prove that they were serious about the project. It provided me all the information I needed, but the amount of work it required the prospect to do pretty much decimated my leads. Then I reduced that website inquiry form down to about 10 total questions, including the basic name, email, and phone number. I added budget ranges. Now, this approach gathers all the initial information that I need to assess whether or not the inquiry is a good fit. It requires the prospect to show that they're serious by asking them to do a little bit of work. And publishing the minimum budget ranges also weeds out the majority of the tire kickers. Today, using Gravity Forms, I'm actually working on another update to my project inquiry form, adding some conditional logic to customize the form fields that are seen based on the type of project the client is inquiring about. Now, creating a website project inquiry form. Let's talk about that. A successful WordPress service project inquiry form does 5 key things. 1, it minimizes friction and makes it easy to complete. First and foremost, the form has got to be easy to use, which means the form fields are visible, the form is error-free, users can tab through the fields in the right order, they're the appropriate size for use on mobile, they're not teeny tiny and they're big enough for your fingers, and any error messages that are displayed provide direction as to what the error actually is. The second thing it needs to do is ask clear questions. Each inquiry field or label question needs to be asked in a simple, straightforward, crystal clear manner. If a prospect is confused at all, they aren't going to complete the form and you'll lose out on a potential new client. Number 3, your inquiry form needs to gather critical information about a prospect and the project. The purpose of using a lead inquiry form for WordPress projects is to gather the most basic information needed so you can quickly assess if the lead is serious and whether or not they're a good fit. This way you can decide how to manage that inbound lead. Without gathering any information up front, you'll be forced to invest valuable time and energy into manually gathering that data from prospects by phone or by email, and there's a chance that they'll never convert to a paying client. Number 4, your inquiry form has got to confirm that the project or prospect is serious. The addition of some qualifying questions to a project inquiry form requires the prospect to put forth a little more effort when contacting you about a new project. This little bit of extra work increases the quality of the responses. It demonstrates that they're serious about the product or project and how important it is to them. Number 5, it screens out the tire kickers. When it comes to managing inbound leads, there isn't anything more irritating than spending your valuable time reading an inquiry form that completely wastes your time with responses like, "I don't know, you tell me." "How much would it cost to build a website like Pinterest?" "I need a website for my business." "I don't have a budget." "I'll give you more details if I hire you." "I need a website by Friday," and it's Tuesday. "I want to make $1 million from my website." By making your prospect put in some effort into completing your website inquiry form, you'll not only dissuade most of those price shopping tire kickers to move on and skip your form, but you'll be able to very quickly identify those who are a good fit and aren't by the way that they complete that form. Now, what should you include in a website project inquiry form? When it comes to your new project inquiry form, the form fields that you need to include and what style website form you need depend on the services that you offer, your unique business systems, and what information you need to take action. The non-negotiable form fields that should be included in every new project inquiry form are name, business name, phone, email, and message or "how can I help?" Then, depending on your audience, you may also want to ask what the preferred form of communication is and what time of day is best to contact them. In addition to those core form fields, you need additional requests or questions that are designed to segment and qualify the inbound leads. These additional options will gather the initial information needed to see if the project may or may not be a great fit. These questions might include one asking about the timeline. Do they have a hard deadline or a target launch date? How fast does the project need to get done? Ask about budget. Without an understanding of their budget, it's impossible to clearly articulate the best solution for their project and provide an accurate proposal. Ask about the requirements. Does the project have specific requirements for functionality that must be met? Ask about the goals. Why this project and why now? What does the prospect hope to achieve from their work with you? Ask about the audience. Who is their target audience or ideal client? Technically, you don't necessarily need to know this right now, but I like asking it because it gives me a little insight into the clarity that the prospect has about their business. Ask whether or not it's a brand new website or it's a redesign of an existing website. If the website already exists and it's a redesign, ask for the URL. Get a little bit of background. You can ask, how did they find you? Find out if they're a referral, where they came from, or how they figured out who you were or that you even existed. And maybe that generic message box or "how can I help" becomes an anything else box. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us that we haven't asked? This gives your prospect an opportunity to give you extra details that might be missed from those questions. Now, the very last thing that needs to be included is the actual button to submit the form. Be sure to skip just the general submit button and use a call to action like "send my message" or "request a quote." Once you've got your form created, you've got to track, measure, and refine. Remember, creating your project inquiry form for WordPress services is not a set it and forget it task. You need to not only track all inbound inquiries and conversion rates, but you need to track what is happening with your exact form, including how many people click over to your project inquiry page, how many people abandon the form midway through, how many people complete a form submission. Based on the information gathered, you need to continue to tweak and refine your inquiry form. Test the different questions or how you ask the questions or what information you're gathering. Don't be afraid to add or remove questions. Don't be afraid to try different language. Change the order of questions, the amount that you're asking. Ultimately, Your inquiry form needs to demonstrate your professionalism. It needs to help your prospect feel comfortable, and it needs to gather the information you need to take action and either refer the lead elsewhere, clarify the details provided, or book a phone call to talk about next steps. A successful WordPress inquiry form can help you segment and manage your leads and help you create a plan for how you're going to respond. If you liked our article today, you enjoyed this video, I hope you subscribe so you don't miss out on any more in the future. And until next time, thanks so much for joining me and have a great day.